Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ryam. Everyone's pretending they're frozen, but I can see Deb blink, so it's probably fine.
I told you. I told you it was gonna be me.
Luckily, I did see. Rob had me for a couple of seconds. I was like, "Oh fuck, did everything freeze?" And then, I said
It's
Deb
okay.
blink, so it's fine.
That 1 second is worth it.
Yeah, that 1 second of like mass confusion. Well, that's over at least. Much like a fucking band-aid, I have to rip off myself every week. But welcome back to Ryam, everyone. This is your Dungeon Master Scoot talking, and as is our tradition, I'm going to have the players introduce themselves. But this week's question is Gaffers. Let's say it is your character's birthday, and your fellows have agreed to do whatever your character wants for 24 hours. What's the plan for the day?
I suppose I can start. Hello, my name is Robert. I play Nikki Doxborn, the human wizard, who, as we all know, thinks pants are pretty lame. So the answer is very easy. No one wears pants. It's kilts and skirts for everyone, baby.
With us. It's very breezy.
That's right. It's comfy. I had a kilt for a while, but I don't know what happened to it. It's wandered away. I need to make a new one or something. I don't know.
Somewhere there's a wandering kilt out on the moors.
Yeah. I'm confused about how I lost a kilt.
Okay, I guess I'll go. I'm Deb. I am playing Tessa, the Tiefling Paladin, and I think she'd definitely want to spend the day with her friends. She doesn't necessarily need presents or anything. There would definitely be cake though, and I'm thinking she would like to do something at the beach, just have a little get together. If it was definitely modern time, she'd take everybody to amusement park for sure. Everybody goes to Six Flags.
Now, where would the cake come from?
Probably.
Could she manifest a full cake?
Not yet.
From her
No,
cleavage, okay.
that's got to come from her uncle and grandfather's shop.
Okay.
Is they have to fight over who's going to make the best cake.
There's a constant struggle of that too.
Yeah, it's tradition.
So I think Kiki, if people approached her and "Hey Kiki, what would you want to do for your birthday?" She'd probably be she'd want to go to Is it Mechanus? Is the realm of
Mechanicus.
Mechanicus.
That's it. She would not necessarily think it's a big deal because she wouldn't know otherwise. So she would just be for her, it'd be going something. She would just be she'd be "Can we go? Can we?" Not realizing what a heavy lift it would be to trans. But that would be you might assuage her by going to an engineering guild in a neighboring land or something like that. She would. To her, it would seem perfectly reasonable. Would you not be? Why would you not go there? Why would you not?
I'm Kate. I play Allie, our half tiefling, half kitsune monk. For Allie's birthday, she really loved. So birthdays were one of the times that you were allowed to go home from the monastery. There were certain major holidays and your birthday. You got to not be at the monastery if you didn't want to be. So her birthday was always a thing that she did with family. And it's not that she'd want to entirely recreate exactly what she did with her family because that's never going to work out. But she would carry over a bunch of the traditions. So cinnamon buns for breakfast for everybody.
Ooh.
Definitely some pranking throughout the day. Basically a day of silliness and fun and relaxing. Much like Tessa, she probably also would take people to an amusement park if this were modern times. It being not modern times, she'd probably try and take people to Haven if she could, because she had a very pleasant experience there, and there are certainly some shenanigans which could occur there.
Maybe you can get back there one day. Who knows? Not when you're not on a formal diplomatic visit, you're just fucking around the town. Who knows? So
she wasn't technically on a diplomatic visit.
I meant the rest
Neva
of the
was.
Neva
Yeah.
was.
Oh, that time.
That
yes.
time.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Allie's never been on a diplomatic visit there.
Well, I mean, the summer festivals are about to start.
Unfortunately, we are not in Haven in the Feywilds. We are in the Free Peaks, in Murtown, where we've had the Gaffers have had a bit of a time. They've captured they paid to have a man kidnapped, which is functionally, really what happened, but by consummate professionals. It was Kiki's idea. They captured bruh guy. They did some interrogation, but found out some things. Apparently, he believes that a way to resummon Torg, the god of chains and jailers, an overall nasty person, lies somewhere underneath the mountain that borders his relative Nikki's lands. He seems to genuinely believe this. He also is addicted to a very, very nasty drug called foxfire, which is akin to like a meth type stimulant. But you folks are still at the den. You then now are back at the inn. You're all. Can be afterwards, the next morning, wherever you would like to start. And you're hanging around, figuring out.
I think
what
one of the
do.
hanging questions from last week is if there was if the hit was still on Nikki, like if people are gonna try to fulfill that.
Yeah, I think the outro was about investigating an active hit. I'm very invested in investigating if there's any
I'm investigating
active
a new
hits.
living.
Yeah. So, if I recall correctly, the Den Mother had indicated that there was a hit on me.
I felt like it was not active, but not closed, or some weird. I don't know. I don't have it in my notes.
Yeah,
as far as I'm
something
Probably
like
follow
that.
up.
Yeah, we'll follow up on that. Should we
Circle
ask
back
the Den
around.
Mother? Should we go? Yeah.
Yes.
Let's circle back around and go work those action items.
Oh my god, no! I just my job.
Business with the best of them, baby.
In order to create a paradigm shift and disrupt the existing architecture.
I'm out.
If Nikki pulls out like a laser pointer and has like, whatever
Ergonomics.
fantasy like slide presentation.
Obviously, it's a minor illusion slideshow.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So, the Den Mother can inform you that there are some elements in town that you could go investigate, or that might know. There is some of their competitors, really. They're not super fond of them. The person she can think of that would do this type of a thing is named Ock. He's actually a Trident gentleman that lives down literally on one of the docks because he just hangs out in the water a lot. He goes in between here and Tides Breach. That's
Fair.
where he's based out of.
So would he be like managing the contracts, or would he be like personally trying to kill me? Basically, is talking to Ake potential idea to get him to call off the dogs, or is this walking myself into my murderer's hands?
It's not walking into your murderer's hands, but
Okay.
Ock is the gentleman that does the business end of it. He gets the information together and he gets the payment. So if you're going to either say, he asks you, right, because Vest is the Den Mother you're talking to. He asks you, have you ever taken he asks you if you're experienced in taking out contractual hits.
I don't think so. Would I have ever run into it?
Think so.
Okay, no, sorry. That was not an in character. I don't think so. That was like as the
what a
player.
I
mean, I grew up like in the rough part of Ventos, but I don't think it was that rough.
No,
but that was more of a confirm with Scoot question.
Yeah, that was if you were sort of like the street urchin type background, you probably wouldn't have gotten in with anyone enough to do. You might have been a lookout for things that they didn't tell you what they were doing.
Sure,
but you were not a trigger man. Probably.
Sure, I never actually. I was never the trigger. I never actually took out the hit.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
And you would remember contracting a hit on somebody.
Oh yeah. No, Nikki would be able to answer that very readily. Robert was like, I should check because like, okay. No. Best. Sorry. I have not.
Really, there's a few ways the hit can stop. It's if you pay them more to go whack the other person, providing the skullduggerer will do that, or if they know they're not going to get paid, they will probably not do it.
Can't we just be like, we captured that guy and he's currently in custody, so you're not going to get paid, drop the hit?
You could.
It's worth a shot.
Unless he prepaid.
So this is Kiki would ask the question through the rings or in front of the Den Mother, whatever, and she would basically ask like, is it like you get like paid for an attempt, or is it like do they pay the deluxe package like we keep sending people till the job is done, right?
So
Like
that's where it depends. He tells you because it depends on the package you want, because you can get like well, we can probably do it and we'll give it a shot. You want it done quick and quiet with poison, and we will poison them. If they die is up to fate, and that's not our problem. And then you can pay for a deluxe package where they guarantee it, like a suit.
yeah. So Kiki would also be like, we could also take out Dana. She's like, let's go for the source. She's like,
I mean,
She's
yeah, that's
cutting-
not a bad idea.
she's like cutting through that Gordian knot. She's like, she would also wonder out loud to the group whether, not that we want to field other assassins and take them out. She also thinks this guy was like pretty junior, so she doesn't think there's a deluxe package, but we can't risk Nikki's life on that. But she's also like, it might get too expensive for the Assassins Guild, like if they keep sending people. But again, not to rely on that, but she's just so like we could go to the Ock. Was that the person's name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ock. Question, potentially outbid, assuming that this Ock is a trustworthy assassin and would tell us, or would name the actual
I'm not sure.
correct
I think the Venn
price.
diagram there is just 2 circles, Randall.
Hmm.
The one time you guys don't have a rogue.
Yeah, seriously. Or like we know Dana set it up, and so Kiki's just sort of like, yeah, we could ask Ock, or we could just fucking go. Not that we have to take out Dana per se.
I feel like if we don't get the hit removed, though, people are just going to be very annoying.
Well, they're not going to get. That's true, but I also don't think they're going to be paying if the source of funds, meaning Dana, is taken out.
Hmm.
Like, so anyway,
But would
Kiki
they
just
know
jumped.
that? There could be opportunities for them to jump us before we can get to Dana.
That's true,
Do
but
we
I
know
just.
where Dana is?
This is also a great question.
I don't think we have any idea. No, yes, we do. We do. Brush said that. Well, not necessarily. Brush said that she has a shop in Storm's Ire where she's at frequently, and that's where he was like supposed to meet her at some point, if I recall correctly.
Right. That's probably a couple days' journey at least.
Yep.
Yeah, so like I mean, if she's there, like we'd have to go that way, and it's a ways. Have to go up by Rustia to get there. So we want to go all the way back around through the estate.
And then where's Ock located?
He's
Just at the docks
literally
here
on
in
the
Mertown.
docks. Like that's where he.
Oh,
He's a merfolk.
but near us.
Yeah, near.
Yeah.
you.
Right, at least this
He's
town,
he's not
right?
like House Ock, he's Doc Ock.
Oh,
Oh, can he be like a tentacle guy? Like he's got 8 arms.
Thanks for ruining it, guys.
Oh.
I can't have nice things.
Kiki's
I'm
really just.
researching this, and he just tweeted it out.
Kiki will defer to what Nikki wants because it's literally her life at stake. But she'll
Yeah,
just
but
keep
like
pointing.
none of these
she'll just
options
keep
sound. Sorry?
Yeah, she's like, take out Dana. She's just gonna be like, root of the problem. But she doesn't know that these are great ideas.
Yeah. None of these options really sound significantly less risky than any of the others.
And you guys are
Um,
forgetting also there's a third brother.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
we
did
don't know
sound
the
like
whole
Dana was the
story
mastermind,
either.
but we yeah, no, you're definitely right. Boy, I guess start with Hawk and see what we can see, just because it's the closest. See how that goes. Maybe don't have me lead that conversation.
Probably a good idea, because if it's somebody
Yeah,
if somebody else, I don't think he's going to kill that person because he's not going to get paid for it.
right. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I'm also thinking that your invisibility spell might not get past defenses of an assassin in their actual lair. Just throwing it out as note of caution.
Yeah,
So
I still
should
think
you be
it's-
there at all? Is the question.
Ooh, honestly, perhaps not. Yeah. What's the range on our slap chats?
You can talk with this in this entire town, so other people
Okay.
can go. You could split the party and go to the assassin's lair.
Nothing goes wrong with splitting the party, especially when one of the
No.
people in the split is, has a hit out on them. I mean, on the other hand, walking them into the assassin's lair might actually be more stupid than splitting the party. So,
I mean, Nikki,
Oh,
if
boy.
you want, I can stay with you the whole time if you didn't want to be there, because I don't think anybody's going to get through me.
That's a fair
I
bet.
guess, Nikki, do you have polymorph? Could you like
I
be
do.
something else? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what. Like, even if it's like look like a polymorph is just beasts, right?
It's beasts. Yeah.
So you could be a small animal and like be in someone's pocket, or I don't know. You could be a fox and
Yeah.
hang out with Ali.
Yeah, Allie, what do you
Start
think?
screaming at each other. I don't know. I feel like polymorph is probably a better idea than invisibility. If I'm going to be there. And yeah, like you said, Randall, just like hide in someone's pocket. Hope that I'm sure Tessa could like feed me crackers or something so that I was content to just like
Crackers
chill.
and cheese in a little
Ah,
pouch
in a
with
little
apple
pouch.
slices.
Oh my gosh.
Not prepared for this.
Little mouse Nikki would be over the moon.
Little Capri
Stop.
Sun.
Little tiny Capri Sun.
Who's got the best charisma?
I have a plus
Probably
5.
Tessa.
Yeah, it's probably me actually.
Sorry, what's that?
It's charisma.
Rup, rup, rup. Oh, Chris.
Just we're trying to yeah, I only got +1 too. Not to put you on the spot, Tessa, but you know, for those sweet rolls. And I'm not talking about pastries.
I mean, although also those.
Also the pastry. Nobody can
Sweet.
turn down pastry. So yeah, apparently I can be intimidating as fuck. I'm not.
I mean, this checks out. You are like 7 feet tall and have wings.
I'm actually not proficient in intimidation. I am in persuasion though.
That's what I was thinking.
That
'cause-
checks out with like Tessa's personality.
Yeah, she's like.
You can be intimidating because you
Yeah.
still have a plus lots.
I can just
but-
stand there.
But
I just
you'll
think
do a better
intimidating
job
an
of turning on the
assassin-
sugar.
Yeah, I think intimidating assassin might be a
Hmm.
high.
Then maybe
Well,
it would be good
Yeah.
if Allie was with Nikki
Can
for
do.
protection.
Seems reasonable.
No problem.
Okay, so the plan is Nikki will polymorph into something small. Oh, I guess we're gonna ask the are we just gonna waltz up and knock on the door of the Assassin's Guild, or are we gonna ask for a business introduction through the mother?
So from what I understood, Ock just like hangs out at the docks. You can just like walk up to him, just be like, "Hey, man."
Okay. It also could cost, you know, this info could cost, or putting it off could cost.
Right.
So we should just keep that in mind.
So what's
And I'm a little scarred about doing a solid for an assassin. Like, do this job for me, and it's all forgotten. Okay. So,
So I'm
when we get near,
polymorphing.
yeah, into
I'm gonna
Lady's Choice.
hide in Allie's pocket.
What are you polymorphing
gonna-
into?
I'm gonna be a. I
Mouse?
was thinking mouse.
A gecko.
And then Tessa is donating some crackers to the keep the mouse hanging out in the cozy
And
snacky
cheese.
pocket strategy.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go find Ock, and Tessa's gonna work her magic.
Okay.
And by that I mean stay there and roll the dice and fail.
Hey, it's worked every other
Am
time.
I also coming with you while you do this? And Nick is just on my person at the time, or I am staying somewhere separately and we're splitting the party?
Yeah, I'm assuming
I
that
don't
like
know.
Allie, Kiki, and Nikki are also going to help me be feeding me questions and stuff like we did before. That seemed to work pretty well.
Well, Nikki's not going to be doing too much this time. But
Oh yeah, that's right. Because
Nikki's going to
she'll
be a mouse.
I will be
a
squeaking
mouse.
and eating cheese.
Fair enough.
Okay. So, you folks are heading to the docks then?
Sure.
I think
You
so.
head to the docks before you get there. Pop, polymorph.
Poof.
Poof, polymorph into pocket. Which pocket are you putting Nikki in, Tessa? Or Allie,
She's with
Allie,
she's with
sorry.
Allie, yeah.
I'm gonna go with one of my deeper pants pockets. Slightly less likelihood of more space for snacks.
Okay. So, Nikki, you are in this very deep pocket. It's very hard to get out of, and all of a sudden, food rains down upon you.
Oh, fuck yes. This is the best mysterious hole I've ever been stuffed in.
Oh.
Ah. Hmm.
Are we not
Today.
phrasing?
To date.
I'm just sitting here wiggling my eyebrows. I don't know what you people are talking about. I'm
Anyway.
just stretching my eyebrows. It's an eyebrow workout.
So you see, you folks do see it. There's a gentleman standing upon the dock. It is a trident, so he's sort of that kind of fish mermaid type guy, with 2 legs. Although there is like a hump on his back. He's a little bit wreathed in shadow. You know, he's trying not to super be seen. Although he does seem to be reading a book.
He's like sitting on the dock.
Yeah, he's just sitting on the dock, like on one of the pillars that comes out of the water under a candle, or like a lantern. He just seems to be reading a book.
Is he just watching the time roll away?
Mm-hmm.
I should know what that
Nice.
is called.
The book? What thing?
No, the dock post. I thought they had a fancy word.
Oh.
I don't know.
There probably is one. We're going to keep moving.
I ran into one when I was a child. Nikki.
Kiki will suggest. Kiki will
I'm not
suggest
sure
to
whether that
Tessa.
was Nikki or.
That was Nikki. Yeah. That's where she
Kiki
got
will
her
suggest
eyebrow
to.
scar.
She'll suggest to Tessa that Tessa just go up in her classically friendly way and just be like, "Oh, hey, what you reading there?"
Okay, we'll start friendly. We can work our way.
We're not
do
sure
that.
this is the dude, like 100%, but yes.
That's
It's just some
So-
merfolk that's just reading by the top.
I'm gonna sit down next to him,
Mhm.
rather noisily. I mean, because 1, I can't stealth, and 2, because I don't want to, you know,
Oh, he's
I don't
seen
wanna be
you coming
spooked.
a mile away.
I'm sure you could hear me.
Yeah.
And I kind of sit down next to him, like, nice day to be outside reading.
It is, and you see that he doesn't look up, but from his shoulder the hump does, and it is
Oh.
a large like octopus that's just sort of
Oh,
connected to him. Not actually connected, just like hanging out on his shoulder like a parrot.
you wouldn't happen to be Ak, would you? I say to the gentleman.
I am, and this is my friend Doc, and the octopus waves one of its tentacles at you.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
To clarify, it is in fact an octopus and not a Ted.
You don't know.
Wait, Allie may have met it. I don't remember if Allie's met a Ted or
I
not.
think
Octopus or abomination?
I think we've definitely met Teds in Haven. At least Allie definitely would have, and I think we may have run into the Consenticles shop at some point. Can I roll something to see if this is a Ted?
Do an insight check.
Can we all?
And it's a
Anyone
10.
can do an insight check if they'd like.
Excellent.
I'm getting it out now.
Yeah, I mean it's a octopus certainly. You know, they change colors sometimes, so it's hard to say if it's like an appropriate color for an octopus with a 10.
Am I close enough to see the octopus and make an
Yeah,
insight?
it's not trying to hide. It's just it seems to also be reading the book, but you don't know if it's like actually reading or if it's like a dog just looks at the TV too. Like, is it actually watching the TV or is it just staring at a thing?
14.
I rolled
Also-
It's not great for Allie.
I rolled a
Also, it
14
would be-
insight, so I'm quite certain that I'm eating a Gouda.
Oh yeah,
It's very Gouda.
I insight check the cheese.
I rolled a 6, so
It's
Kiki's like
delicious.
Octopus,
Kiki's more interested in the
whatever.
book.
Yeah. Kiki, you do see the book is called The Baby and the Hill.
Okay,
So
interesting.
I'm gonna turn to the guys like, so I heard you're a man to talk to about in meta, what was it that the Den Mother called it when it was some kind of like allegory for killing somebody, like swimming
They
with the
use the
fishes or
term.
something?
They used a lot of different terms, from like going to sleep, talking to a friend. She probably would have recommended to you, Tessa, to not go up and say, "I would like to buy a murder, please."
Right,
They're
yeah, that's what I'm
probably
trying
gonna
not
want
to
you
do.
that, yeah.
So
That is
I'll
the thing
say,
that you in fact need to tell Tessa.
so I heard you're the man to talk to about going to see a friend.
He looks up at you, as does the octopus at the same time, and he goes, "I've been known to find people."
Maybe you might know this one. Do you know anything about a Nikki Doxborn?
Can't say that I do.
Can I do an insight check to see if he's
I
telling
think
me the
Tessa
truth?
needs to.
I rolled a 6.
Nope. Allie, without rolling, I think you and Kiki know. Asking the death merchant about a contract is probably not information he's going to give up willingly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also not the brightest either.
Right. So Tessa did the thing that Tessa would do, and everyone else went.
Do you want Kiki to pipe up for a second?
Sure. Help me out here.
All right. So Kiki's like, okay. So you know how a friend can sometimes not like another friend, right? So we're not like interested in the friend. We're interested in the not friend, and them being not friendly with the friend. And she gives a look like
big bird eye wink.
Like the beak goes up, like
yeah, like her feeling. Like she's just like, so, yeah, that's basically she's trying to also talk around. So we don't want so say someone was, the not friend was like wanted the friend to like sleep with the fishes, but we want the fishes to stay awake. We want everyone to stay awake, basically. So he'll try to, and then she'll look like you pick it up on throwing down.
Yeah. So he closes his book. He looks to Allie and goes, "Do you want to give it a try?"
Damn it!
Doing so well.
I feel like we're going to go buy crack. It's like, I would like 1 crack rock, please. Is $200 enough?
One cracked rock. Yes.
He takes a deep breath and looks to the three of you and goes, "Are you looking to purchase services?" He just comes out and says it a little. Well, he looks around first to make sure there's no one around.
We're looking to untie some knots.
Oh. What manner?
Well,
I like the mouse noises.
A manner of entanglement surrounding a friend of ours. We'd like her to be disentangled from.
I see. And that would be the Miss Doxborn that your large friend asked about, then?
That's the one.
Okay.
Allie was gonna be like vague about it, but because like she'll start to open her mouth like she's going to say something, and then Tessa's just gonna say that's the one, and Allie will just close.
Kiki looks at Tessa and she's like, "Isn't that what I said?" She's like, "Oh, I said that." Like she thought she was perfectly clear.
I understood it.
She's diagramming her own sentence, doing the math.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you didn't get that. So he'll look back to Tessa. Well, I'm sorry, but once we make a deal, we make a deal unless you have pertinent information for me.
And Tessa's like, she's about to say something, then she's realizing that maybe she shouldn't be talking very much, and slap chats the group said, should we mention that the dude bro has been captured? So
Allie sends back, yes, but let's do it a little obliquely. And so Allie says out loud, I suppose at this point we're more curious about kind of the construction of the knot than anything else. When someone pays for a knot to be tied, do they pay entirely up front, or do they only pay on completion of the knot?
Depends on the complexity of the knot. and what it's holding.
And if someone has not fully paid, and there is an issue with their ability to pay for the completion of the knot, what's your standard procedure for that?
The knot will not be tied until we've received payment for whatever we're hauling.
So when it's a particularly complex and tricky knot, payment must be made up front, and the person must live with it otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way of knowing how complex a knot has been tied around our friend?
Of course.
I think that's the first thing we're interested in then. Is it the kind of not so complex that everything's been paid up front?
He smiles at you as if, yeah.
Because if it's not that kind of knot, gosh, that could get confusing. If there is payment outstanding on it, then yes, we have pertinent information. If there is no payment outstanding, then sadly our information becomes somewhat less pertinent.
He just sort of looks at you, like he's taken aback by the brashness of all of you, that you're just like walking up to him and like doing, you're talking around it, but you're inquiring about this, and he takes a moment. Well, all jobs are confidential, Miss
Turner.
He rolls his eyes. So unless you...
Wait, what did he expect?
Clearly, he's dealing with a group of professionals.
Like this is the point at which he rolls his eyes. My goodness. Excuse me. I mean,
cheap, chirp.
Allie pushes a grape into the pocket. You don't want you to get like protein farts or anything. You got to get some fruit in there.
Thank you. Grape is amazing.
The storyline of this episode is going so well. He will look to the groovy and goes, all of our information is confidential. I can't tell you about the complexity of any knot. However, if you have something for me that would make me believe that payment for a job would not be rendered, perhaps I can help you.
Do we have proof? I ask on the Slack chat.
No. Kiki doesn't, we don't for that. I mean, we'd have to get it or make it so to Dana, unless it's the other brother, but no, we're pretty sure it's Dana.
Check, folks, please. All of you that aren't a mouse currently.
It's good. I crit.
Nice.
I crit a 29 and Tessa crits a 23.
Wow.
Is Randall gonna crit? Let's see.
I'm
Do
trying.
it.
Triple crit.
Okay, it's acting. Okay, I'll do the old
Roll the
fashioned.
dice.
Oh no, 4.
So it strikes, there's a moment that strikes both the non-bird ladies that if he knew that Braham was captured by the Badgers, that would be problematic for him and his organization. So him knowing,
Problematic in what way?
so he is a competitor to the Badgers. A generally high-paying and high-profile client is now with them, and that also might lead to issues with if there has not been payment made. Clearly, payment is not going to be made.
Got it.
So you do know that like, hey, yeah, he may have paid in full. However, if he didn't, if he knows the Badgers have this guy and are more than likely going to off him, that might be the inroad you're looking for.
So through the
go ahead.
Through the bracelets, Kiki will offer to make an illusory image of the would-be assassin, like at his point of really jonesing for Foxfire. Just it's only a still image, but just basically like
Wait,
Well, you could mimic his voice too. I bet.
Sure could.
Ooh,
Sure
you
could.
should mimic his voice.
So, are you guys in agreement?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So Kiki will pop up an image of the dude, like kind of like sweating and jonesing for a fix, Foxfire, and then she'll use a mimicry trait to get eke out the few words that he. Well, actually, she can make it say whatever, or make him. She can say whatever in his voice.
Mhm.
Wait,
So
how does
Allie
that
would
work?
suggest that what you say in
no.
his voice is,
Yeah.
is something along the lines of, I think your initial not purchaser may have made friends with the Badgers.
So Kiki will do that.
Okay.
And Tessa will kind of nonchalantly point to her Aloran symbol.
Yeah, he seems to be aware of the Aloran connection, so he'll. Shame. Well, you can tell your friend. He says, thinking back to Kiki's sentence to make sure he has, like, he's maybe saying it right, that we don't care about them anymore.
Good.
How delightful to be unnoticed.
I guess that concludes through the Slap chat.
Well-
Kiki will be like, I guess that concludes our business, but she won't.
We
say.
won't take up any more of your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Your book.
Bye, Doc. Bye, Ock.
Yep. And Ak nods and goes back to the book, and Doc gives you a big old wave from the shoulder as he then
Definitely
zeroes
waves
back.
Dude,
back.
before we leave entirely, I want to insight check and make sure he's not lying to Lolis and do a false sense of security.
Mm.
I don't want to kill him.
That is a good idea.
14.
I got a 16.
16. And Kiki.
13.
Tessa, you, from his voice, you've been around enough
Badgers?
Badgers and Storm to know that, like, he sounded pissed, like that job is gone and he's not thrilled about it. And if he was going to lie to you, he probably would have put more effort into his interaction.
It kind of seemed like he's like, shit, I just lost all this money, and now he's with
And
the
an
Badgers.
assassin.
I'm
and a
just
staff
over
person.
it.
Yeah, this already cost him too much. He's done. He just wants it to be finished. That's what you pick up.
I've just been reading the chat.
No, so Rob informs us that Nikki insight checked the grape, and she's confirmed that it absolutely had ill intent.
So I ate the
And then-
grape.
It was actually a sour grape.
You think that this grape was malcontented,
I do.
angry, perhaps?
Oh, no.
You could say that.
Oh no, I knew it.
Was it the grape of wrath?
The single, yes. Just the one.
Wow.
We killed Scoot.
That was
It's only a one-hand facepalm, but it's a nice long one. He's really savoring it. Like
think
I
we're
savored the
savoring that.
grape of wrath.
That's the name of this episode.
I really need to work to make sure that in this campaign I managed to one up the pun that I made on Sunday in the other campaign.
What was the pun? Oh, you have to tell the audience what the pun was.
So we are fighting. Scoot is preemptively facepalming here, by the way. Double facepalming.
Double.
Love
They're fighting a group of drow in an underground cavern. Our companion, Mudra, played by
Randall, me, yes.
casts Daylight, which will cause the drow to have to roll at disadvantage. Their mage counterspells. As a reaction, Mudra is able to counterspell, which means that the Daylight spell remains intact and stays up. At which point, both I and my character, because my
Oh,
character
no.
would also totally say this, Dev knows what's coming,
Yeah, I know it's coming.
says, I see it's daylight savings time.
So good.
It was giving them disadvantage on
nice.
attack rolls. It was
That's
really
nice.
important.
Perfect.
I'm so proud.
You can't top that. You just can't.
I think we've permanently broken.
I think we
Scoot.
broke the suit.
That means we get all the money, we get all the glory. Nikki's town is going to be very fruitful. We're all going to live happily ever after, with all of our
you-
mithril and friendship.
If you think that's going to happen now, you're very mistaken. So
Wow.
you
I just
dealt with
want my
Hawk
beach
and
birthday
Doc.
party.
Doc and Hawk. Are you kind of later evening in Merton, but like there's plenty going on. Like there's lots of drinking, carousing is happening currently, so you are free to move about as you wish. Nikki, do you want to stop being a mouse at some point, or
Only lasts an hour.
ride this
right?
out?
Yeah. I suppose I'll ride this out until I run out of snacks.
Somewhere around the hour mark, Allie is
Or
going
an hour.
to take you out of the pocket so that like you don't turn into a full human-sized person while still inside of the pocket.
This kills the pocket.
Well, no, because when she takes you out of your pocket of the pocket and you turn back into yourself, she'll give you a moment to get reoriented and tell you that if you wanted to get into my pants, there are plenty of other ways.
Ew.
You could have just asked.
I mean, I think that ship has sailed. You get it because
True.
we're on a dock.
And all the hey.
Yeah.
And because they fucked.
Also that.
Jeff Jacks, and then they fucked .jpg.
Bird JPEG, and then they all fucked. So, gaffers, as my internal rage builds, would you
Rock's
like
fault.
to go back to the inn so I can kill you in your sleep? Or do you want to go carousing and celebrating that Nikki's life is safe, at least for the moment?
Drinks might be in order.
I think drinks are in order.
Kiki she'll put to the group whether we should change inns because she's feeling a little like we've been very visible with certain elements.
It's a really good idea.
You can just say me, Kiki.
Tessa did a lot of talking. That's all she's gonna say.
I'm very loud. You know what? That's probably not a bad idea to change ends.
And then we could do whatever drink and stuff. I mean, let's be clear, if the Assassin's Guild really wants to track us down, they will, but like I just would another layer of distance would be good.
I'm on board.
Kiki will suggest that we get different digs.
You can get different
Digs.
You can get different gurgs. Ermagurg.
Hermagurd.
Ermagurd.
Durgs.
Different durgs.
Or at least okay, so we'll do that.
Yeah, you'll do that. So you head there, you find a nice place, you get all settled in, and what do you want to do, gaffers? You want to go get crunk, you want to have a good time, you kidnapped a man and you murdered it, you probably have him getting killed, you stopped a hit, you low-key took one out. How do you want to spend the rest of the evening?
It's been a busy day.
It's been a very busy day. I don't want to get like super crunk because that sounds like a good way to get killed by some assassins who haven't quite gotten the memo yet. So I'll have like one drink, but still have a nice
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I wanna
a
be on
nice
the alert.
evening on the town, but not like a crazy evening.
This
just like
isn't New
hit
Year's
the
Eve.
bars.
This is like
yeah.
this
It's
is
just like it's a
Saturday.
Thursday.
Friday happy hour maybe or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Friday
Yeah.
happy hour. Yeah.
Okay. You head into
Nice casual. After work, your boss is still there, so like you can't go too weird with it,
you got to be a little on edge in what you say.
Yeah.
Okay, so you find one of the local tap houses that seems to accommodate a wider variety of tastes. It's not the local hole in the wall. It's definitely for the folks who are coming on the ships. But in coming to this place, there's a very lively band. Bards go in. Well, there's musicians, but there is a bard with them that's using some prestidigitation and whatnot to kind of liven up the show. You also notice that there's a couple of elements that stick out. At one table is a very large human woman dressed for cold. And it's chillier up here than it is because you're at the tips of the peaks, like the landmass. And she is arm wrestling a smaller minotaur. Allie, you would probably be used like, you know, a minotaur that is considered strong, like a swole one, is going to probably trounce most average humans. But they do come in a wide variety of sizes. So they're sitting there and they're locked into it in an arm wrestling match as various crews are cheering them on. There's also a number of lizard folk of a lot of varieties just kind of hanging out there, as well as you do see there are two very well dressed, what look to be captains. Again, a larger male minotaur, and a very pious looking woman. Not quite a cleric or a priestess, but definitely in vestments. Think of like, medieval sailors with their like various like iconography. You did arriving in the town did notice that the 3 trading vessels from further away, and you seem to have stumbled upon their crews.
Here's the question: do they stand out more than we do? You said there's a group that stands out. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a first.
There's
Obligatory. I think I asked last time when we got into Mertown, but none of the ships in port are from Ventos, right? None of them are flying Ventosian flags.
No.
Okay,
There was a
Nikki,
Thunderblade.
that's not what I thought you were going to ask.
Yeah,
I thought-
I was definitely thinking. Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask about their fuckability. It's honestly where
I was
thought you were
thinking
gonna-
pants if they were wearing pants.
This is the
thing.
same question, Deb.
I know.
But for once, you folks don't stand out as there's a lot of minotaurs are not super common up here, and they are loud, drunk, not wrecking the place, but definitely drunk. The captain
A little boisterous.
Yeah, they're
A
very
bowl in a china
boisterous.
shop.
Not that bad. They haven't broken anything.
Bull in a tavern.
Mhm.
They are. You eventually see that even the smaller minotaur puts the woman finally, after a very long battle, down in the arm wrestling competition, and his fellows, a mix of male and female minotaurs, and there's actually 1 or 2 werewolves with them, do congratulate him, and the woman looks a little miffed, but then realizes, no, that creature is fucking huge, so you know what, I did not do a bad job considering.
Allie looks intrigued about the werewolves.
Yep, they are currently in their hybrid form, so they are they're the sort of bipedal walking wolves.
Nice.
One is a little bit more like hulked out, like very much bigger, kind of bruiser. One is a bit more lie. He looks like he probably runs up and down the rigging a lot. That's most likely his job. He scurries around versus just straight up hauling things. But you do see the 2 captains sharing a drink at the bar. And then one of them, hang on, let's see what, yeah. Oh yeah, the boat of minotaurs clocks Tessa coming in, and you see one of the bigger ones like, you, me, table.
I'm just like, I gotta point the finger to my chest, like, and looking like around behind me. Obviously, there's nobody like at my height anywhere near me.
Wait. Tessa? Tessa,
You
do
look
point-
around, look down.
Do you point at your boob window in your armor? Where do you point exactly?
Well, if I'm pointing to myself, it's
You,
probably
me,
gonna be a
table
different
could have a
window.
couple of different requests depending on which establishment you're in.
But I'm just like, yeah, me.
You want to go? And he pops his elbow down on the table for an arm wrestle.
And she doesn't even think about it. She's like, yeah, I fucking do. And she just walks right over there. And she puts her arm down.
Right. So Tessa squares up to this person. What are the rest of you doing?
Is this a minotaur?
This is a minotaur, and like a fairly
Alright.
sizable one. So
Alright.
good to you.
Kiki's gonna go ahead, Nikki.
Oh no, sorry, you can go first.
Kiki's gonna stand beside Tessa and put her arms, fold her arms like she's Tessa's bodyguard. Tessa sitting down is taller than Kiki standing, by the way. So, but Tessa's sort of like, she's like, I got my girl. She's gonna be like, don't mess with my friend. She's gonna try and put on
I just got
bar
flashes
airs.
of Zootopia of the shrew mafia boss who's like,
Yes,
big.
yes. She's not gonna say anything. She's not trying to intimidate. She's just being like, yeah, okay, yeah. Like she's gonna try and be all bad.
Allie's gonna grab a drink and find some surface that was not designed for sitting on and is probably higher than most sitting surfaces because this is something all my characters do. She'll find somewhere to sit, but it's not going to be steep. It's also probably not going to be a table, and it's going to be something elevated.
So there are this place is decorating with old rigging that's probably like you wouldn't use it for
That's rigging.
cargo, but you would use it for a person. It is sort of a hammock situation.
Brilliant.
So you're going to grab a seat, drink a beer, watch the arm wrestling match.
Yep, Nikki.
I'll grab a bar napkin to hold like a pom pom to go cheer Tessa on.
Yeah, I can smell the one brewing for when I roll this.
Okay. So the bar goes silent. Most of these patrons are pretty. They're like half in the bag, right? They're not. No one wants to do anything stupid, but everyone's just sort of like, oh shit, because that was a very big scene. So you two square down. So Tessa, I need you to make a strength check against this gentleman minotaur.
Just straight strength.
Strength.
Okay. 12.
12.
It's not great.
You two lock in, and he is strong. He is a strong boy, and he begins to slowly force you down towards the table, but he did not roll much higher than you, so you are holding strong currently.
Okay.
Go ahead and make me another strength check, please.
Okay. 16 this time.
Ooh, he does
better.
worse than you, so you start pulling
Yes!
it back.
Oh!
And you get him to a little, like, he's starting to lose it now, and he's really just sort of...
Tessa,
breath.
Tessa,
I wanna lock eyes with him.
Tessa.
That makes people uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. He's going to see if his jimmies get wrestled. Nope, he seems to be very used to these tactics. He rolled a charisma saving throw and got a 22. So another strength check, Tessa.
Okay. 13.
You beat him, not by much. He starts to
He's
give
also
ground.
probably very drunk too.
Oh, he's pretty drunk. So you have him at roughly a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
Give me another one, Tessa.
Oh, I crit failed.
He brings it all the way back, and now you're at a 45-degree angle.
No.
Oh no,
Another
no,
one,
no.
Tessa.
Ugh.
Tessa,
17 is better.
He starts to push it just that little bit more. He got an 18 on the dice.
Ah.
Give us another one, Tessa.
14.
You're climbing back. You got it. He got a 2 on the dice. You didn't collect
Oh
critical fail.
no!
You're pulling it. You're pulling it. Give me another one.
Kiki's
13.
in...
God damn.
Whoa!
He got a 4 on the dice. So you're
Oh.
now
Yes.
back even, and he's starting to get tired. He's been at this for a while. One more.
Kiki's inspired by
I've got the
Nikki's
bull by the
cheerleading.
horns.
Kiki's cabbage
Oh, I got
patching
a
beside
7.
you.
You got
Yeah.
16 on the dice, so back down you go, Tessa.
Oh.
No, I will not stand for this. I got 15.
Okay.
I may sit for it.
You've stopped his momentum. You're holding it there. Come on, Tessa.
So I take a deep breath and I whisper some prayers to my goddess to lend me strength. And I get a 10. Fuck you, Laura.
Down, Tessa goes on the table.
No!
Oh well. Can't win them all.
Right, and he pulls back like, oh, and he's just flapping his arm. He's like, you are strong for a bird.
I do reach out. One, I'm not a bird. Two,
Kiki's
game.
offended.
I do reach out to shake
He's
his
like,
hand.
you seriously can't tell the fucking difference. There's an actual bird right here. Beak,
Unless
motherfucker.
he meant it in the colloquial sense of being a woman.
No,
Well, yeah, there's that.
he's drunk enough that he's looking at your wings, and he might have mistaken you for an Arakoa.
Okay, so an actual bird.
Yeah,
Okay.
like Arakoa are common around here, and he thought you were just some sort of hugely swole Arakoa. So he maybe hasn't clocked the horns quite yet.
Fair enough. I will buy him a drink for him winning the match fair and square.
I insist. I'm gonna buy you wings.
And Tessa again does the thing where she just like, opens her mouth, like puts her finger up, then just closes it. Like, already have those?
Potato skins.
You said wings.
Oh no, I meant like the eating kind.
Oh my god. Like me as a person didn't get that. Oh my
Are
god.
they like chicken wings or
Yeah,
are
they're
they?
chicken wings.
Oh,
Ooh. Oh, that
Oh,
might be a
Kiki-
little insensitive.
Kiki that lets people eat whatever they want, but she's
Okay.
a little like she's a little nauseated.
Potato skins are okay though, because they're fucking delicious.
Yeah, potato, and then he just starts screaming potato skins, not like loud, but then everyone sort of joins him from his ship as everyone's like, but everyone's coming over to congratulate Tessa because this is the strongest guy on the boat, and
Does anybody else want to go?
And someone's like, yeah, I will, and they sit down.
All right. One more round for the
One more
lulz.
round. Go ahead.
24. Wait, no, I did a strength save. That's the wrong
Okay.
roll. Sorry. 24.
Okay.
Still a 24.
You put him to a 45-degree angle, so he critically failed. Another one?
20. No, I did a save again. Sorry, I'm stupid. 21.
He's almost at the table.
16.
He's down. Boom. And
Yes.
Tessa, like, for the rest of you, just see basically one
Ooh,
fluid
just
motion of
nailed it.
boom. And he's like,
Ha.
whoa. Holy
Vindicated.
shit.
Tessa, do the next one left-handed.
Okay. Do you want me to do that with disadvantage?
Sure, if you're right-hand dominant.
I am right hand dominant.
Okay. Another challenger steps up.
All right. I roll with disadvantage. 12.
Not going too well. He got an 18 on the dice.
Oh, I crit failed.
Almost
Oof.
touching the ground with your left. One more.
11. Oh.
Down Tessa goes.
Yeah, I'm not left-handed.
Okay, that wasn't the best idea. Sorry.
Maybe a little bit ambitious there, Tessa.
Kiki gives Nikki a very even look. Like,
Nikki, why don't you step up to the plate?
Oh boy.
ooh.
I mean, I'll try. Do you have anyone smaller for me to go against?
There's a
I want to see it.
there's a real big laugh, and the more lie werewolf shows up, and he steps in, but he shifts down to a human form.
Oh,
Sits
Lily is
there.
already laughing.
Yeah, and he takes a seat, and again, a lot of that tone climbing muscle, not so much the big burly like cowman muscle. So he squares up with you.
okay. A 12.
You start winning. He starts
I've got
getting
that.
pushed.
I've got that +0.
Yep, one more.
But it can. It's a nat
That's
one.
a nat 1, so all that progress you had made is now gone, and he has you at 45 degrees.
I started strong, but I went a little too. I used up all my juice. That's a 3.
He rolled an 11. Further down you go, and he leans into you though, and he's like, "Yo, who's your friend in the rigging?"
That's Allie.
Yeah,
Want an introduction?
I mean, yeah.
I got you, bud.
Cool.
If you let me win, I got
Yeah,
you.
do wanna-
Gotta look
I'll do
good in front
my-
of the crew.
He'll offer that.
Did my
like,
last
you
roll?
can-
It's an 8.
Do you want him? He's willing to make that deal with you. If, like he.
I'll introduce him either
Oh,
way.
he crit. You go down.
Oh, he gets too excited thinking about getting to meet Allie and just
Yeah,
like
bam!
punch, like oof. Okay, that was good.
Take, like, a point
Ow.
of damage on your
I
head.
told you that was gonna happen, Nikki.
I mean, it really couldn't have gone any other way. I mean, I just kind of gestured to my little chicken wing arm.
I do put a hand on Nikki's arm to put a little bit of lay on hands on there.
Clean up my cracked knuckles.
Just clean that up a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. Ow. Oof. Oh, that stings as it gets in there. Okay. Whew.
So Tessa, as you're over at the bar now, is there just like everyone is asking you questions about like your training routine, what kind of protein you drink, all those questions. You do look back and see that Thrax has gotten there with one of the like medium-sized ones. And Bosco's in like a little headband just on the table barking at Thrax as his cheerleader.
Oh my god, I can picture him with just like a Cobra Kai headband.
Just screaming and dog.
Through the Slap chat, I'm gonna say, "Yo, Allie, this cutie wants to meet you." Wink. I say wink.
Winky.
Slight meta note. I've recently discovered in our electronic medical record documentation software, you can actually make it do emojis, and I am so tempted to put those in all my patient notes now and just make insurance companies deal with it. I will not. That would be unprofessional. But God,
Every time you were talking about like oh, they need like some I'm recommending physical therapy for this, screwed up muscle, and then like the flex emoji.
Well, I mean, we were
Just make every record like a shit post.
We were thinking about, when talking about how patients were performing with their glute exercises, throwing a peach or two in there.
Yeah, there you go.
It would be would be weird though. Like, oh no, their shoulders were real messed up. Wink. Like, what? Well, wink.
It's like it'd be like the medical
God.
chart equivalent of like the boomer ellipsis. Just like, what does this mean? I don't understand.
All right, back on track. Allie's excited because she's had fun times with werewolves before.
Yeah, and he's a pretty handsome dude. Roll for thought.
Kawaii check.
What?
Kawaii check.
Yeah, roll a kawaii check.
We're rolling, Scoot.
It's D20. Yeah, with a
14.
14, he's a handsome boy. This is some Dread Pirate Roberts bullshit he's got going on. Like early Wesley, not full scale Dread Pirate Roberts.
Nice.
But he seems very excited. He's definitely hot. He's very attractive. Is very pretty male presenting, like chest, the whole thing. But again, a lot of those toned like soccer build, like not again. It's weird because as he gets closer to you, he's a bit more muscular than he looked originally when he was standing next to giant cowmen. Because you might look a bit smaller next to giant cowmen, so he's
Objects next to cowmen may be smaller than they appear.
Yeah, it's like Kiki standing next to Tessa, or Nikki standing next to Tessa, or literally any of you standing next to Tessa. And he looks to you and he goes, "Hi, I'm delighted," he says, looking at you.
Is that the name or the emotion?
Definitely the emotion.
You didn't say, "Hi, delighted, I'm Ali." You could have done a dad joke.
I do have characters who would have made the dad
that's
joke
true.
fun.
That is true.
Allie is not one of them. At least not in this particular context. Allie, also delighted.
Yeah. Can I get you a drink?
Allie finishes the drink she has, shrugs and says, "Sure."
Okay.
Seems I'm out.
Yeah, he will just downs it. He will lead you to a bar. He will introduce himself as Kem, Kem, and he will just start making a lot of small talk, but flirtatious small talk. He'll make some comment about your tail, and he will leave that open of what exactly he means by that.
So now we run into the part where Allie, the character, is far better at Kate, the player, than thinking of quick and witty responses on the fly. So we're just going to say that Allie made quick and witty responses on the fly because Kate doesn't do that very well.
Fair
Oh, I
enough.
feel ya.
Every
now
so
we've reached
often I'll
the
have
heart
a
of the
gloriously
show.
good one and I'll throw it out there when I do, but I don't right now.
Roll for flirting. Charisma check.
Don't forget you have an advantage from that scarf Pashmina thing.
A critical
10.
fail and a 10.
It's okay. I got a 10.
He got an 11. So you two are on quite a similar wavelength, actually. It's really working. One of you is not like trying harder than the other. You're both making cutesy little stumbles here and there. At least he seems to be a little bit nervous. I don't know how Allie is. He's fairly more out of excitement than anything else.
Works for me.
Kiki, what are you getting something? You getting on this potato skin action? What are you up to?
So first of all, there's strength contests and flirting going on, and she's just like this is not her territory.
This is not her scene.
No, she's happy to be with her friends. So she's been like stacking empty cups into as like an intricate like architectural design as she possibly can. She's gonna if the staff stop her, she will. She's only had a couple drinks too, but yeah, she's just gonna kind of be like and see how high up she can get them without them tumbling. Yeah, that's what she's gonna be doing.
This actually draws attention, Kiki, from some of the lizard folk. that came in from the Thousand Isles, and you see there's one smaller kind of salamander guy with a crust on his head that is intensely watching you in not amazement, but definitely like noting your structure, and you see him eventually just sort of staring at you, not meanly, just sort of like, you know, kind of watching what you're doing, and eventually he gets up and comes over and gives you not pointers but suggestions about, like, you know, table, like the table wobbliness is less wobbly over here, this is dry, this will be better, try this, do this. Like, you know, I'm just casually doing this, and then he's coming over to like help you with this and join in if you'll let him.
Yeah, so Kiki's fine with this because she's fine with collaborating and stuff. This is kind of like reverse Jenga, right? Like, as opposed to taking things away, she's kind of like trying to build it up. So she'll nod, she'll argue if she disagrees with certain placement, but if it's like, you know, if this person makes their case, she'll be like, because it's just a tower, you know, even though she's serious about a lot of things, it's just sort of a tower. So
as you see, you and this salamander gentleman disagree on things. He goes, no, and at one point he gets just frustrated enough that he pulls out a book, writes a proof, and shows you why he's right.
Oh.
Kiki's like, she just puts up a hand and is just like, and she makes a little dismissive gesture, and then she pulls out her note.
She's gonna like go through that proof with a fine-tooth comb.
No, Randall, why?
Randall,
No!
It's your moment of victory, Randall, always.
Of course. Of course, I had to phrase that.
Always in your crescendos does this happen.
So
Your computer just gets overexcited with you.
Yeah.
yes. So she'll pull out her own notebook and be like, and give this like, oh no, you didn't. And then she'll start putting, you know, lines of force. And then she'll, you know, like put equations about compensating for the unevenness, right?
Like, look, you assumed these cups were in a vacuum.
Yeah, she'll do that,
flirtation,
and she'll keep her Iron Defender dog Pinion at the ready, because if he if he thinks for 1 second, but she'll engage in the sort of, you know, peer-reviewed glass tower. Whatever these mugs are made of, I don't even know what they're. Probably just
like
clay, but whatever they're made of.
Clay and wooden cups which actually adds another element, because now you begin discussing, should the woods be the bottom, should the clay be the bottom, what's heavier, what makes more sense, and this carries you to, for a while, as you've most likely forgotten that time is a thing that exists, as you're just attempting to build this structure. And Nikki, you probably look over at some point, and they have stolen other empty mugs that people don't have in front of them, and like, in their hands, and they are constructing this like Tower of Babel, like it's multiple stories tall, and you're like, no, they're doing it, like, you're looking at it like, no, that's right, like they're following like a basic idea here.
It all pretty much checks out.
Like, we have to borrow one of the tables nearby to bring it up to create a bigger base.
Get like an arch that like hooks in. Yeah, a little flying buttress.
Yes, if we could absolutely do that.
I feel like at some point, Kiki's going to come over, like tap on Allie, ask her to stand up, take Allie's bar stool, and like no explanation.
Kiki's also not above using Mage Hand to like hold the arch in place until everything's, you know, there, and then release Mage Hand. Like, she's like, okay.
As Kiki takes your bar stool, Kem will offer you a seat on his lap.
Allie will take it.
Okay.
Do it.
Smooth.
And just like seamlessly continue the conversation as though like nothing big would happen.
No. Nikki, what are you looking to do? Because you've been cheerleader, you've been project supervisor so far.
I don't know. So I normally would be like, you know, getting a little crunk and looking for someone to spend the night with, if you will. But I am trying to like stay sober and a little more alone today, because I don't know who the assassins might be. And again, you know, they said they called it off, but you run into like the Pacific Island problem, right? Where like
someone doesn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, the assassin hasn't, his next check-in is in a week, and until then, like, how's he gonna find out he's in hiding?
Hmm.
So
I know
I'm just
exactly
gonna
who you're referring to with that reference too, and gosh, I'm delighted by it.
Thank you. For those that didn't, there was like an island in the Pacific where like they didn't know that World War II ended. It was a bunch of Japanese soldiers had no idea World War II ended for like what was it, almost a year or something insane?
No, it was a longer.
Like longer?
Longer
Like
The longest one was a man who 20 years after didn't know, and they actually had to
20
track down his
years.
former, like his unit's commanding
his
officer.
former commander to like go
and
convince
to
him.
stand down.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's gosh, amazing.
I want Nikki
Yeah,
to.
so I'm just gonna like sit at the bar and like make small talk with the bartender, I think.
I wanted Nikki to surreptitiously ask people if they're in the assassination business. Like,
Hey,
no
hey.
reason.
You trying to kill me?
That's right. By law, you have to tell me if you're an assassin. Right.
You're an assassin, you gotta tell me.
Tell me if you're.
I put a zone of truth on the entire bar.
Oh, that would make for a really interesting evening.
I was
Oh
gonna
my
say
God.
At a bar?
some fucking shenanigans there. No,
Because
just in the nature
they
of
would know
like
that they're under the effect, but they'd also be drunk and not care.
like sometimes like you get like the designated driver in your group, like everyone else is schwasty and like being stupid, and they're just like, well, how's your night going? Like the bartender's the only other sober person in the room, right? Like
Maybe.
yeah, it depends on the venue, I suppose.
Yeah, so Nick, it's eventually one of the women, the kind of outsider women, comes up to you. She also seems to be the DD,
Sure.
and she looks a little haggard, as she is clearly just. You watched her early in the evening take one of her companions, and again, it's an all female crew. Outside, you heard vomit because you've been to college parties and understand how that works.
I know that sound.
Yeah, and then she brings her companion back, puts her at like a corner, stands her up, shoves a glass of water down her mouth, gets her another one.
Like props her up against the wall.
And kind of moves her to where
Honestly, I've been there.
where her crew is, so she knows like she's gonna be safe, no one's gonna do anything.
Yeah.
And then she comes over to the bar and just puts her head down, and it's just like exhausted because she is now mother henning a lot of drunk sailors, which she is not super thrilled about.
I'll look up and see the bartender's busy, so I'll just like mage hand a fresh glass of water out from behind the bar.
Yeah, and through this mop of disheveled hair,
slide it over in front of her.
Takes it, pours it on herself, on her head, and puts it down.
An unconventional strategy.
There's so much in my hair, you have no idea. She says, and usually looking into it, there's chunks in.
Oh no! I'll take a full minute of casting prestidigitation. Just like mop up the spill that is now around her from the pour, and like. Yeah, Kiki immediately claims the empty glass for her tower. Like the instant it's set down, a mage hand comes out and just
yeah, no, it's like the handoff. She's like, "Thank you, thank you," and she just grabs it for the tower.
Yeah, so I'll spend a minute like cleaning her hair up and everything.
And she eventually comes up. She's like, "Thank you," and
oh, girl, I have been there.
Yeah, this is what I get for not drinking and us getting leave to do so. I wish I was back in Winford.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah.
I've never met someone from Winford personally.
Oh, where are you from?
Ventos, actually. Bit of a long story there.
Long way from home.
Long way from home.
Nikki, make an insight check, please.
I can do that. Not very well, but I'm okay at insight, actually. It's a 14.
Okay. Who's not occupied? Tessa, make an insight check, please.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I rolled with disadvantage. Should have done that. Let me just re-roll that again.
Whatever. Okay, yeah.
16. I did it again. Shit. I'm an idiot. Yeah, let's just go with 16.
Okay. You look over at this woman looking at Nikki, and you can hear the Hungry Eyes song playing at the moment.
I feel like Tessa at this point has grabbed Thrax and Bosco and is sitting at the table, both watching Kiki and the lizard guy and watching Nikki over here just going like, oh, I need to watch this.
Shipping on all sides. Where do I look first?
Where do I look?
And the woman you're talking to, her name, she tells you, is Nell. She's a brunette,
Nell.
probably in her
Nice name.
mid-30s. Again, spent a lot of time at sea, although she tells you that's been very recent. She, asks you how much you know about Winfer, and then just gives you...
Just like stories, basically.
Yeah, she gives you some information about, they've been... Since the Minotaurs showed up, not that long ago, they decided to, leave their home and start going exploring the world again. They're on a searching mission, this exploratory mission from the matrons, which are their the theocracy that runs the place. And it's been interesting. Some of the gals are, and she looks over at some of them that are doing math in their head as they look at the male Minotaurs and doing that math. And that's not going to work out without magical assistance. Magical assistance, it might work, but they're an order of magnitude bigger than some of these gals. They're just bigger creatures.
I will look at that scene and then look back at Nell and say, kind of tilt my head towards them and be like, apropos of nothing, I hear the Badgers have some good spells that help ensure compatibility, shall we say.
That's good. Because that over there is Becky, and Becky with the hair, you see her all fucked up.
Oh, I see her, yeah. Uh-huh.
Fucked up.
Becky with the hair.
Yeah, she tried it with one of the larger werewolves a while back, and she didn't walk right. We had to
Ooh.
and it wasn't like a
Case
she got
she
walking.
all right?
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, that can go badly.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know why they like men. Most of them, it seems like a lot of trouble.
Got their good sides.
I'm sure. She says, and kind of this woman just looks exhausted, Nikki.
Nikki has that strange moment of wait, are you insulting me? Nope, I'm a lady.
She's a lady.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And eventually you see her eyeing Booze a little bit, as if she wants to do it, but she also wants to be a good DD.
I'll but assassins. It's fine. When I see her looking at the booze, and then she looks at the booze, she looks at her group, just the damn it, I have to be responsible, the big sigh, I'll say, well, once you get them all home, I'm staying at the Tipsy Sow. There's a bar next to it if you want to come visit later.
And she looks at you and smiles. And Tessa, you can hear the Hungry Eyes song again. She goes, I would like
that Aloran magic detect horny.
There's 3 couplings going on right here. I'm overwhelmed. This is great. I'm gonna write a fanfic about all of these later.
To juxtapose that, Thrax is just throwing potato skins into Bosco's mouth. He's cutting them up so he doesn't choke, but Thrax has no idea what's going on. He's just doing that. And he's then it expands out to he's just chucking them to the enjoyment of the crowd as Bosco is running and leaping like a frisbee, just catching them and eating them.
Ooh, Randall's just reminded me in the chat. I'll grab another cup of water and kind of wave my hand over it and give it a little glitter. And I'll hand that to her. Here, tastes just like home. And I've flavored it to taste like a Vintosian ale.
And she drinks and she goes, "You're home." And she smiles at that, though.
Well, I've never had river ale.
Pours it out.
Best I could do.
Check, please.
Oh! Look,
Jill, look at
look,
your Nikki.
Vintosian wine, good fucking shit. Vintosian ale, more for like sailors with 4 coppers worth of pay.
Oh no, it tastes good. I'm just hoping everything from Ventos tastes good, she says, looking at you.
Ooh. Smooth. I'll we'll go for the full meat cute, and I'll reach for the to take the glass back to hand it over to Kiki, and
Kiki's waiting there impatiently.
she's like, "Give me the glass, give me the fucking glass, Nikki."
I gotta show up the fucking lizard.
I'll reach out to grab it and get distracted by looking at Kiki and grab her hand instead.
Nice. Do you touch? There's a moment. You hear a squee from Tessa, probably.
I'm not being subtle.
I glance over. Tessa's just full
I am that cheetah from Zootopia.
There's the air pressure around Tess is a little bit low from how hard she's going. The gasps.
The night will wear on. At this point, inadvertently, because at one point the bartender's like, "Where the fuck are all the glasses? I have to wash them down." And he looks over, and there's a 3-level tower, and he's like, "Kangaroo, lizard, I need some of those back."
Kiki shoots a look, like a dirty look, like, how dare you interrupt this monumental undertaking? Because she's only had a few drinks, she's not in her cups. In her cups, she is basically
She's absolutely in her cups.
yeah, there you go.
The thing is, though, a few drinks on someone as with shall we say, as a bird-like metabolism as Kiki.
That's not an unfair,
Right, I don't think
take
Kiki's
on the situation.
hammered, though, but Kiki's more competitive.
Nah.
I have a project I'm doing right now, drunk than booze drunk. I would imagine.
Checks out.
So Kiki will sigh and get ready to relinquish the glasses, but then she's like, "Oh, hold please."
I'll
And
walk
she's
over.
That's something Kiki could do is figure out which ones are non-essential to the structural integrity and start giving those back first.
So now you are
Like-
playing
I love
Jenga.
Now it is Jenga. I love it.
I would go over and I'd
Fantasy
look at
Jenga.
one of the sub towers.
This cathedral they built.
That's what I'm imagining. Yeah, I'd be like, I think this could be 3 whole cups thinner without losing any structural integrity.
Kiki gives you a measured look, like, I hope you know what you're doing. And she'll take the glasses out and she'll prestidigitate them clean because she realizes she's been keeping the staff from their, pointed duties.
Oh no!
Oh no! I can't see it.
I rolled the fate dice.
Yes.
And it's a 1. So the tower comes. Half of it just goes crumbling down.
Nikki, Kiki gives you an absolutely still, measured look. Like you've never seen her this still. Like she's just like.
So, and as
Experimental failure. Good to know.
as
I just
Kiki-
I pick up the glasses and turn away and give them to the
So as
person.
Kiki's staring at you, from the camera pans 20 degrees, and the salamander is also staring at you in the exact same way, just like a foot behind her.
I'll just
Yeah.
kind of.
It's like if we were breaking
I'm
the
just
fourth
gonna-
wall. We just look like.
I'm just gonna pick these up. Sorry to intrude. Bye.
Kiki will need she'll have a drink now.
Yeah,
and
and
sit
I'll
down.
tidy up and I'll go sit back next to Nell and do the same exhausted plop.
Yeah, so the lizard, the little lizard guy comes up to you, Kiki, and he's like, "Humans." Then he shakes his head as he drinks his drink.
Yeah, Kiki doesn't. She doesn't play the fantasy race cards, so she'll just be like, "Not all humans." No, she'll. And then she'll turn just Nikki. And she's
No!
she
Fucking
does it.
brutal.
She does it with she mimics a real gravelly voice, just to add extra.
Batman.
Just yes, just Nikki. But then she'll sketch things out. She'll just distract herself by going over sketches with the lizard folk person.
His name is Mech.
She'll be like, "Hi, Mech."
Dude,
She'll probably forget to introduce.
characters that we're having conversations with Mech and Chem.
Yeah, they're inverses.
Wow,
Coming up with names on the fly.
nice.
Speaking of Chem, Ellie, he does invite you back to a room that he has clearly not purchased in the last few moments when you were like in the bathroom. Clearly, he has not.
Definitely. I'm gonna shoot a message to the group and be like, "Hey, what are our thoughts on tonight? Like, do we want to stay together for safety, or am I good to go get laid?"
Go
I'm
have
gonna
fun.
just slap chat back. Get it, girl.
Do your, do
Allie,
your
last
cousin
word.
proud. And I'm actually referring to Sophie in this case.
Allie's gonna send back, and everyone's gonna hear it, but she's intending it for Tessa, not my first werewolf.
Get it, girl.
Off Allie goes with Chem.
Wink. Allie goes off to get off.
Chemistry.
Aww.
Oh.
I laid the foundation for that. I can't even be mad.
I'd be mad if I didn't. at
You're
some
the
point.
one who put the fucking ball on the tee, Scoot.
I know. So I can't be mad when you guys did it. So they probably don't slip away, but then just kind of move off to the back, and you folks watch as they both enter the room and the door closes.
Camera fades, hand on her butt.
There's a weird fox noises for a second, and then nothing. Tessa, you know, then at this point, last call comes. You know, get the fuck out, because now they have a lot of like, gotta clean up this whole cup situation and deal with the rest of it. But Mech, you know, he tells you it's a pleasure to meet you, Kiki, and he hopes he can meet more minds like you on his travels.
Kiki just goes, "Me too." Like, she just wants to meet other minds. She doesn't realize it's a compliment. She's just like, "Yeah, me too." She takes it at literal face value.
Yeah,
Like,
and he nods, and he gives you a hearty goodbye. He puts his hand out for a handshake. Yep, and they shake.
Kiki shakes.
Yep, and he just rejoins his crew as they head back to their boat. Tessa, you and Thrax, you know, you lead the herd back to your inn where you all crash in for the night. Nikki.
I suppose I also head back since I had offered to meet Nell at the like back at my inn, like at the downstairs bar there.
Yep.
So like as everyone else goes up, I'll just like, now that we're home, I'm just gonna have one here.
Yep.
Smile. And kind of wave Kiki and you know, bid my good nights to Kiki and Tessa and Thrax and Bosco.
Is Nell wearing pants? Did we clarify that?
Nell was wearing pants at the bar before.
It's a character growth arc, baby.
Just checking.
Nice.
So you meet Nell down at the bar.
Not quite so shallow anymore.
Yeah, no, we've got clothing. Yeah, we've taken massive strides. You meet her at the bar. You flirt, have a good time. She offers that she actually has a room she's staying in because they've been on that boat for that's a long way from Windfirst, so they actually are off the boat.
Sure.
Unlike, you know, Miss Fox's, you know, Mr. Hound and Mr. Fox and Miss Fox over there. So she invites you to come back to her room.
I would love to. Where is it specifically? I have some. This sounds unnecessarily paranoid, but like some people tried to kill me recently.
Oh, okay. Well, and she tells you like it's not far from here. It's like a couple buildings over. Like it's in one of the like more. It's probably at the inn you were staying at before you moved.
Okay, sure.
So you're gonna...
rolling a dice while I make thinking sound. Yeah, I'm going.
I love the war between Rob thinking, "I know Scoot, and I feel like this is a trap now, and Nikki being like, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. There's also the war between Rob going like, this might be a trap, and that's probably bad. And also the war between other Rob going, this might be a trap. Sounds fun.
You have the Slap chat too to if you
Yeah.
need an
I'll
emergency.
warn everyone, like, hey, I'm going to Nell's. She's at blah,
There you
blah,
go.
blah address. I'm in room number, blah, blah, blah.
Girl going home with a new guy does for safety. Let her friends know
Yep.
exactly
Yep.
where she's going.
Exactly where I'm going. I'll be back, tomorrow before lunch.
Yep. So you see she takes you back to her room, and she does have like a small, like a your college dormitory setup where there's like a bed, a dresser, like it's a very small, very cheap room.
Sure.
So she walks over to.
Nothing wrong
She
with
takes
that.
off. She is wearing a few like bangles that she puts into a jewelry box, like the one she's clearly kept with her for her stuff. It's one of her few possessions, probably on the boat. And are we pan? Is the can? Is it? Are we panning away, Rob?
I think that's a Scoot question. Is all that can happen here Panda Rose, or is there shenanigans?
I mean, we can pan to Rose if you're consenting to pan to Rose.
Panda Rose, baby.
We pan to Rose. The night passes. The morning comes.
Along with a couple of other people.
And Nikki, you awake to a blade at your throat. And that's where we're going to leave off.
Oh.
Damn it! Damn it!
At least she had the decency to have a nice night first.
Of course. So thank you all for coming to Ryam this week, and we will figure out what this honeypot scheme works out next week. So thank you all for coming, and we'll see you then.